I'm sitting in the sunset seat, and it's surrounded by the Carolina jasmine, which bloomed early in the spring. And this riot of greenery back here are the honeysuckle, and they're just loaded with little buds. So probably in a week or two, this place is really going to be a sweet smelling seat. This was kind of an unusual iris. It's it's almost like a copper color. I think it must be a mix between a yellow and a purple. And sometimes it would almost seem like bronze or, I don't know, brown. Now we're up in the front gardens, up by the front of the driveway. And this is I don't know what the name of it is, just a real pretty purple. And in front of it, I don't know if you can get that, it's called clove pinks. And they really do smell like cloves. They just smell wonderfully. Last year we didn't get to see them bloom because right when they were getting ready to bloom, the deer ate them all right down to the ground. This is the front of the bed. It was filled with huge clumps of daffodils that bloomed, and now it's switching over to irises and the pink clematis on the corner. And the sedum are in here growing away like crazy. And way down at the end is a real different kind of yellow iris. I don't know what it is, but it's really neat and it makes really cool seeds. And then by the time the irises get done, in between each iris is a big clump of daylilies. So they'll start blooming. And then down in the front, there's these little flowers. I call them Brenda's flowers because Brenda Hubbard had them at her house. And it's all this real dense greenery down here. I just planted one little plant last year, and apparently they like it up here and spread real well. And they'll be really bright yellow. So that's going to be real fun too. Okay, we're going to keep an eye on this. I think it's called a century plant. And we just noticed it's going to have two great big spikes coming up. So that's kind of cool. And then we also noticed that the tiki torch plants are starting to send up their bloom shoot, I guess it'd be called. Charlie built 3 bluebird houses during the winter, and he built 4. We have 3 of them up, and bluebirds are in 2 of them, and this is one of them that has a nesting birds in it. Well, we thought a bluebird was in that box, but it turns out it looks like it's a black-capped chickadee who's made a nest in there. It's so cute. These are the logs that we inoculated with all the mushroom spore. I think there's oyster and shiitake, lion's mane, reishi, and turkey tail. I think that's everything that we inoculated in those logs. And now we just have to remember to spray them with water. And hopefully this fall they will be sprouting out mushrooms. I mean, our little woodland garden, it's pretty much finished for this year. It had bleeding hearts in it, and you can still see the lily of the valley. They're just about finishing up. It had a lot of little yellow miniature daffodils in it, and these primroses and violets. And I think what's still blooming there is the wild geranium. And whenever I find any little tiny plants that like shade, I always try to put them up in here to keep them safe. Here's the gate that's going to be the start of, well, it's the deer fence, and this is the gate, I guess, leading into the woods. and ultimately the front yard from the deer fence. And all those are the posts back there. And hopefully next week we'll run a post hole digger and at least get all the posts set into the ground. And we're starting protecting our food supply from the deer. Normally I don't like to take pictures of projects that are in the junky phase or that are going slightly awry. Um, but I'm doing this so I can compare it with what this is going to look like next month. This is the beginning of our first little miniature food forest, and it kind of stalled because I ran out of mulch. But now that we've got this good supply of the shredded bark from the lumber mill, I'll be able to actually sheet mulch the whole area. And I think this year I'm just going to put in some, beneficial flowers, and maybe this fall we'll actually start planting some fruit trees and stuff in it. Here are 3 projects that Charlie's been working on. He finished up the stack of dough boxes for Eden. The other half of it's stored in the attic. And so hopefully Eden will be happy with that. And then this board is part of a tick trap with carbon dioxide. So hopefully as soon as the wind quits blowing, we're going to buy some dry ice and try and catch a bunch of ticks and get rid of them. And then this major project is a solar oven that Charlie's been working on. And this is going to get, mylar on it to be the reflective surface. And then there'll be glass over this middle part that's painted black. And then we'll turn it around and show you the back where the door is. This is the back of the solar oven. And you turn these little knobs. And this is the door. And just lift it up. See how well it's insulated. It's cardboard and tin foil glued together. And you slide the pot right in there. There'll be a broiler pan to hold it up off the floor, and we got a big pot that's going to go in, and the directions say it should get up to 450 degrees. Oh, 400. Whoops, but still that's pretty hot from the sun. Alrighty, so by next month we should be cooking in it, so we'll have to show that video to you. Well, this is the harvest kitchen, but I guess right now it's kind of like the nursery. And I have lots of things started in here. All the watermelons and squash and pumpkins and sunflower seeds and lots of annual flowers that I had seeds for, and I thought, well, I may as well plant them because they're not doing any good in the packet. And so that's what kind of craziness is going on here. Now I just need lots of energy to get all this stuff in the ground. Well, that was this month's garden video, and so I'll see you next month and we'll see what's changed.